Hello, and today's Business Plus Talent topic is purposeful work. I'm joined today with my friend and colleague, Colin Ruston. Colin and I have been working in the talent management field for more decades than we care to count, and we have seen as the years have come along, this topic has become increasingly important. Colin, it's good to have you with us today.
It's good to be with you, Roger. In fact, I've got a question I want to ask you.
Go for it.
Tell me, from your experience, what are the conversations happening around purposeful work?
In the last, I'd say 8 months. Fortune Magazine, Entrepreneur, Inc., just among some of the most nationally recognized publications, have published pieces on the concern around purposeful work. Okay. That we have a generation of people who are indicating that they want their work to have a meaning. They want to have the opportunity to make a contribution above and beyond what the particular task is. In fact, if I use a couple of quotes that have been in those magazines, one quote is, "We believe work is purposeful when it contributes meaning to an individual's life and has relevance to the greater community." That was one particular writer's exploration into what does purposeful work mean. Another said, well, there are three things that make for purposeful work: autonomy, complexity, and a connection between effort and reward. So in one sense, it's not a new topic because all of us in talent management have known that if you want people to be committed to the organization and help the organization grow, they need to feel that their work is a part of something that's quite purposeful. It is clearly the case, though. We now have a generation of people coming into the workplace who are looking for the nature of work that they feel has a greater sense of purpose.
With the generational changes that are happening, is there a way you're able to drill down a little deeper as to what makes work meaningful with these new generations that are coming on board?
Some of the comments that have been garnered in the research when folks have been asked, well, tell us, what do you think would make your work more meaningful and more purposeful? And these are the kinds of things that people have said. Jobs that make you feel a part of something bigger, such that your daily contributions you can see are going to a larger task. Knowing your contribution means something. Well, that statement's interesting because what it means is there has to be some feedback in there in order for people to understand that their work is contributing to something larger, which actually elevates a practice that we all know in the talent management field is vital, and that's the nature of how we give feedback and encourage people to give feedback. Another statement that has come out of this research is that folks feel that their work is more purposeful when they have control over their work. In other words, they're not being micromanaged. We've known again for some time that when we can encourage managers to develop a point of view which says the talent you have is to be encouraged, facilitated, and molded, not to be micromanaged, that contributes to a very intentional environment where people feel that their work is purposeful.
I'm hearing you say, and you tell me if I missed this, it's a combination of not only knowing what duties and responsibilities, but being allowed the bandwidth or the opportunity to be creative about it, to bring their whole self to the job and not just simply do a task. Do it maybe in a creative way that hasn't been thought about before. Is that correct? Is that part of it?
Well, certainly to have the freedom to come at it their way. I mean, ultimately in organizations, getting to the end result, however you get there, by and large, in using your talent and skill, should be celebrated, because you may find a pathway toward an answer that others hadn't thought of before. I mean, standard operating procedures are in place because we know those work for us generally, but that doesn't mean they must always be used because there could be a new and different way to approach and solve a problem. And if we are creating an environment where purposeful work is a part of the expectation, that you feel that your work is contributing to something larger, then in fact, you're getting the most out of the talent that you have.
So a way I'm taking that in is the following. We know the duties and responsibilities and the tasks that are needed. And you're saying that the more we can allow some flexibility, some adaptability, some creativity from the individuals, the more enriching it's going to be for them. It's going to bring all their talents out, all their interests out, and probably impact the whole bottom line in a better way. We'll have less turnover, we'll have longer engagements, and a lot more joy and excitement. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
And we know, based on the hard work that we've been doing at TalentTelligent, what the evidence tells us makes the biggest difference in the roles and practices at the top of the organization, in the management level of the organization, and individual contributors that will help contribute to an environment where people feel their work is purposeful.